Hey guys, this is Katya here, and in this video I wanted to share with you my week 2 progress of CGBASICS course that I'm taking with Smirnov school. I'm actually on week 3 now, almost finishing it, but otherwise this would be a very long video, so I decided to make 2 separate videos, not put it all in one. So in this one, I'm doing the line work and the actual design of the book. That's gonna be like kind of the final piece of the little kind of initial course. And in the next one, I'll be already adding shadows and then color. And the theory about the occlusion shadows actually blew my mind in this one. That was amazing. So first, I was thinking about how to design a marine-themed book. It reminded me of a picture book I wrote about Neya. She's a girl whose father disappears at sea. And it's not directly connected to this project, but I liked the sea theme at first. I was torn between doing the Neanderthal book and the marine themed book, but eventually, yeah, the sea theme won. From the very beginning, I wanted the compass as the central element of the book here, with everything else secondary, and I also wanted to add an octopus tentacle. Like, seriously, what marine book without an octopus? And it was really cool to see how the teacher explained in the course that you can take reference not only from real life, but also from other artists' artwork. And this is not copying, but it's taking little pieces from here and there just to give yourself more creative space. And it definitely gives you a lot more ideas and perspectives, and you wouldn't think of them otherwise. So yeah, it was interesting about the reference photos. And for example, I loved the idea of the book's lock being like a ship's steering wheel. So I was like, yeah, the ship's steering wheel, definitely. I don't know if there's a name for this, but maybe there is. Tell me in the comments, but it's a steering wheel for me. And then the first book I designed had the compass in the middle, and I was thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, the Davy Jones locker, things like that. And as I was constructing it, it wasn't convincing me completely. There was something off about it. So basically, I did a double task. I designed the book, and after I drew it, it kind of felt that it wasn't working good. So also one neat trick drawing something as simple as a book, like something squarish, is to build it without the perspective first, and then to actually distort it in perspective. So you take the cover and you distort it in perspective for that design to fit the actual perspective that you like decide upon. And it's definitely much faster than redrawing everything from scratch and trying to build it in perspective. So definitely speeds the work up. But for the same reason, I got stuck on simple details like the corners of the cover. Even though I understand perspective, at least I think I do, I kept getting lost at small stages. That's why I eventually moved on to a second book. Like, I felt like there was something just not clicking there, wasn't happy with it, and yeah, I decided to design a different compass. So yeah, this is a different compass book. And here is something important that I learned in the process. The most important goal here wasn't just to put the book into perspective, but to actually create a design, and a design where you have a central element, the biggest element of the book, and the secondary and tertiary elements that support it, kind of the 1, 2, 3 of the shapes, big, small, and medium. And the central element could be placed in the middle, but it could also be off-center, so depends on your design. And the important thing is that everything else has to be kind of supporting the main element, not drag attention away from it. And one of the mistakes that the teacher actually mentioned was that beginner artists lack medium-sized elements. And that is so true. You can see in the first book with the barnacles, they're like teeny tiny. And I actually corrected that mistake after getting feedback. So this is why I think the first book didn't really work well, because I got like jumbled up in perspective there and building everything, and it had lots of these tiny little parts, but it was missing the medium shapes. As I said, there wasn't this balance of small, medium, and large. And for example, as I said, I drew the barnacles and they were too small, and only thanks to mentor's feedback I actually saw that. And yeah, he actually gave me a very interesting idea of to put eyes instead of barnacles, but I was like, okay, I'm not gonna render that. I'm not gonna be able to render that. Like, let's make it difficult, but let's not go that far. So yeah, so the hierarchy definitely matters in everything. Even if you take it in small parts, even the compass itself, it has kind of the hierarchy of big, small, and medium. So I like the idea of the leather-bound book with like kind of worn and torn edges and stitches, and I don't know, maybe some like voodoo magic in it also, maybe like from an island or something. But then I switched directions. I also wanted to add a scroll attached to the book, like a map leading to a hidden treasure. And my first scroll attempt was horrible. Oh my god, those ellipses in perspective, they were just off. It didn't fit the perspective at all. And yeah, it was the first try. I made a mistake and then I kind of fixed it. I also thought about adding like these pendants, like Jack Sparrow's little coin and the tentacle of the beast. And that was like around the stage that I started working on the second book. Yeah. So I wasn't happy with the first one and I needed to put everything in the correct order in my head. This is why I doubled up the task. And there is a saying where I come from that you have to put everything in the correct shelf in your mind, and it definitely here this saying works. So that's exactly what I needed and what I did. So I drew another version of the book, and this time I made sure that not to go in like guns blazing and just, yeah, I can do this, it's so easy. It wasn't easy. The compass idea stayed, but this time I wanted to make it feel more pirate-like by using materials found in ships and chests. The book became wooden with like metal corners. I think they're gonna be gold with like these rubies or something. I'm not sure still, but maybe it's gonna be a different kind of metal. I will decide when I decide to color it. So I was thinking gemstones at first, but maybe those are bolts, you know, the ones that kind of screw on top of the like that hold together the metal pieces. And of course the tentacle, it's there. I reused the one from before because I really liked it, and I made it slimy and it has so as if the creature was like living inside the book, like you open the book and that's it, that's what you get, the kraken there. So it gives it kind of this magical, nonsensical a bit look, but I don't care. The whole point here is to actually create a design and to build it and color it, like add the shading and color it. So yeah, the kraken stayed. And in this second version, it definitely went faster and was easier to do. So I am really glad I did redraw it, and the compass itself, I had to redraw multiple times until I found the version that I liked. I still had to add the glass, like I have to add the glass bubble on top of it because I really want the glass bubble. Don't know how I'm going to render that, but we're going to get there. And that's what's not included in the sketch, but there'll eventually be like this kind of dome made of glass to protect the compass itself. And I'm gonna render it later. So the scroll, yeah, as I said, turned out to be a map. And when I constructed it carefully, and it was literally like putting two ellipses in perspective, like, that was a game changer. And I'm really happy with the design of the scroll for now. That's the best I can do, and I'm happy. So, and then I fixed also all these kind of this pendant, like book holder with seashell. I really like those seashells with the stripes, and with a coin that is like the cursed dead man's coin and stuff like that. And yeah, and that like book holder poking out as well. And I really like World of Warcraft. I used to play it so much, oh my god. And this kind of gives me that feel of these giant, like very thick shapes, that everything has a thickness, and I really like this style. So yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean meet World of Warcraft. So the book, yeah, became wooden. The clasp that is holding the scroll is going to be leather, and the materials, I think they really work with the theme. And first, then I worked on the rough outline and just kept adding things on top, like creating new layers, and finally made the line art just to be able to have it. It's not as neat as I would usually create my line art, but it had to be like quick, and it mainly serves the purpose of guiding lines. I'm not going to use it in the finished piece. And of course the barnacles. Here I tried to stylize them because I couldn't find them. I don't know, maybe it was a bad day for me looking for references, like a cartoony version of them. So I kind of stylized them myself, and it was scary at first. I really suck at stylizing stuff, and I never have seen them in real life. So I would really love to see them. So yeah, here you can see the final result of the line work. It's not super polished, but it's good enough. And I didn't need to do it perfect. And this is one thing that like helps me. I'm actually working on tolerance towards imperfect things. And now all I need to do is, this is so simple. Now I need to add shadows, and the first part is the occlusion shadows, and then the form shadows and cast shadows and the color. So I will have to design different color schemes for the book, and yeah, I will be posting that as I work on that. So I started already on the occlusion. I finished the occlusion shadows, so now it's the cast shadows and so on. And yeah, that's gonna be week 3. So this is the process of week 2, and I know this video is a bit too long, and I'll try to make the future ones shorter if you prefer, but I hope you found it useful, maybe interesting even. But this is my experience as I'm learning to draw, because I understand that I skipped over the basics. Even though I tried to study on my own, I really needed feedback from a mentor, and I know that this is not book illustration, but this is me on the way to picture book illustration. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.